So today I want to show you how to make a fabric face mask. This is a tutorial and I have not sewn the elastic on yet, but this is the elastic face mask tutorial. Okay. So you want to start with your pattern, and I will link the pattern, as you can see, to Schoology so you can use it and make your face mask. Okay, so you're going to pin. I am making this without a pocket, so I am just duplicating the face one with both my inside and my outside piece. So this mask is actually reversible. There is no inserts for protection, so it is just fabric. If you want to make it with the insert, feel free to follow the instructions. Okay, so I'm going to take and I'm going to cut this out of my blue fabric, and then I'm going to cut it out of another fabric. Okay, so I have cut out my fabric one upside down, and now I am going to take and cut out my second fabric. I chose this really cute polka dot pink. So I would take the pattern, and there is several pattern pieces, so you can use the second pattern if you choose. And I'm going to place it on over this way. Okay, pin that on. And I folded my fabric over to cut two at once because you need a right and a left side. So use your pins. And so I have piece one polka dot, piece two. These are right and wrong side. Okay, so the next step is to take your right sides and place them together. You are going to pin these in place. And all I want to do is just sew this very edge. You're going to put the right sides together on both pieces, pin, and then we will sew those together. Okay, so I have piece one and piece two. These are pinned right sides together. So I took and I put the right sides together and I'm pinned. The only thing we're sewing next is along this very corner seam right here. Take both my pieces that are pinned together and I'm going to sew right along the presser foot. So I have a small seam right here. Okay, so I'm going to line the presser foot on the rounded seam. That's right sides together. So we're going to sew both of these pieces. And I am just keeping it right on the edge, so I have a small seam allowance. Okay, right on the edge of the presser foot. Make sure when you're starting a back stitch at the beginning, sew all the way along, keeping it right along the edge of the presser foot. When I get to the end, I want to back stitch again, lock my seam in place. Okay, so I have one done. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Back stitch at the end again. Okay, so both pieces, if we take a look, they are sewn together with the right sides. Right sides together. So when you turn it the opposite way, it lays nice. Pieces sewn together, the right sides, we are going to take and clip the edges. So make sure you don't clip down to the seam, you're just clipping it a little bit around the corner so it lays nice. Okay, you're going to take your mask and turn it right side out, and you can see how that's nice, a nice corner there. So we want to do that with both the inside and the outside. Now you want to put the right sides together on both of these masks and pin. So we'll start at the top edge and we'll pin along the seam, making sure all the edges line up. Okay, so I started pinning here. So I have pinned together, right sides together, and I just pinned the very top. So now I'm going to take it over to the machine and we're just going to sew across the top with the same seam allowance against the presser foot, right on the edge. Okay, so line it up. Start with back stitch again. When you get to the corner, it gets a little tricky, so make sure you straighten out. Okay, work your way around. And back stitch. Okay, sewing this. Is try to trim my threads, turn this right side out. So I'm going to go to one edge. Now you can see I have both right sides out, so you could wear this either way. And I'm going to iron this, press it so the seams are all flat and laying nice. So the first thing I want to do is I want to press these edges down with the iron. So you might want to go out and look for some fun fabrics if you can find them, if you have anything at home. Cotton is great to use. I have not tried any other fabrics, but there are so many patterns out there. This is just one example of a pattern. This is super fast for me to make, so there are other patterns. I like the way this fits contours to your face when you wear it. And I can make this reversible, so I thought it was really... So now what I do is I take and I fold in both ends, getting them nice and even. And iron those down. Folding in about a 1/2 inch or so. This is the way I have altered the pattern to work for me. You can follow the tutorial and do it the way that they show it with the 3 inside pieces. Okay, so everything is set to go. My ends are folded in. Everything is nice and smooth. Okay. So these masks are made to use hair ties, but I chose to use elastic on mine. So do what you choose to do with this. Next, you are going to fold in each edge. Okay, so take a piece of elastic, and it may vary in length for depending on how long you need your elastic. I cut it a little bit longer than I need to start with. I can always shorten it. So I would take one edge of my elastic, pin it in place, and then put it into the other end. So while you're sewing, you're going to have to hold the elastic to the side so it does not get caught in the needle. Okay, so I pinned both sides in place. And I'm going to sew along this seam now. I actually realized I need to run a small seam on the end to hold the elastic in place so I can sew down my seam. So I'm going to sew along each edge. Hold this elastic in place first. So all I'm doing is sewing the elastic on this very edge here. Okay, so I have both of those sides sewn in place. Next, I am going to sew along the whole seam to encase the elastic on this side. So now you can see the elastic is inside. And because there is an opening here, I may just put another seam right down close to the edge of this area here. And there you have it. You are finished with your mask. So the inside does have these two pieces tabs on them, so if you do wear it inside out, it's a little bit decorative. Okay, so and there you have it. I have a mask with elastic or hair ties, and it is pretty form-fitting to your face. You can adjust the elastic if you need it longer or shorter, depending on the size. So this is not required. This is just an optional thing for you guys to learn. I wanted to show you guys how to change your elastic into bias tape. So what I did was I put the right sides together and I sewed the very edges, and then I turned it so the right sides were out. I put the bias tape around the top and the bottom and sewed it all the way down to the edge. So this is an option if you have tie the bottom and the top. If you have a double fold bias tape, you can also make your mask tieable. And I just had it laying around my house, so it doesn't have to match. Kind of makes it unique if you have two different colors. So just another option for your masks if you are making them. Okay, thanks.